Chris Cody, how often do you find yourself feeling bad when a Noah Lyles says a thing that many people on social media probably did not even know who Noah Lyles was, perhaps because they're not following track and field the way that they follow basketball, and so he just got dunked on from every corner of the universe? How often do you feel bad for that person who says the dumb thing and then everyone gets to defend USA, USA, we're great at basketball, we invented basketball?
Why asking Chris how he feels when someone says the dumb thing? This feels very targeted.
It's an odd
here.
choice, yeah.
I was too dumb to pick up on it. I'm like, why is he going to me on this, Billy?
Did you feel bad for Noah Lyles at all?
No. He said a dumb thing.
All right, let's listen to the dumb thing that he said that allowed all basketball players everywhere to make fun of him and get everyone chanting USA behind him because, you fool, how dare you think anybody but the NBA plays the best basketball there is?
World champion of what? The United States? You know, the thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA Finals and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times. But that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA. World champion of what?
You guys tell me, because there wasn't anyone who defended his viewpoint. I thought, I mean, you can certainly make an argument that the world has caught up, but the world plays in the NBA. Unless you think there's another, do you think there's another Doncic somewhere out there that isn't playing in the United States?
That refuses to play in the NBA?
That isn't. No. I don't think there are a lot. I don't think there are a lot of those. But what is the opposite viewpoint on this? Because I simply felt bad for him because everyone just dunked on him.
I'm gonna have to do this. He's right. He's not just technically right, but they do play basketball, professional basketball. That's of a top level. And while you may dismiss, what, is Shane Larkin going to beat us out in Turkey? You're not traveling to Turkey, so you don't know how it works. And in other...
You know.
No, I don't know.
Turkish team is not going to beat the NBA champion.
No, I don't know.
No, you know.
No, I don't know because I haven't actually seen it happen. I haven't seen an NBA team travel to play a series of games. And yes, well, we're laughing about it. Ha, ha, ha. They can't stand. They don't stand a chance against the NBA.
But
we haven't actually seen it happen. And it's the same kind of bravado that we applied to international basketball. And we saw international basketball. So, yeah, maybe the first couple of times, say hypothetically, they do what we have in soccer, where you actually can find a world champion. Because not just do you have their own domestic league champions. When someone wins the English Premier League, they don't call themselves world champion. And that's essentially what we're doing here in the United States. We're taking the most well-known league and dubbing them world champion when they don't do that in soccer. Oh, I get to be an English champion. You know what my next step is? I get to go to Champions League, and I get to call myself a champion of Europe. And then after I'm a champion of Europe, I get to go to something called the Club World Cup, where then they crown a true world champion. So technically, he's right.
USA! 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 USA!
It's a national.
Toronto not part of the world?
It is a national championship.
Yeah.
It is a national championship.
No, they're beating Canadian team.
But
that's like saying you don't know that they're going to beat the Tamiami Colts 11 and under team because they never played
I don't
the
know they
Denver
are.
Nuggets.
What you asked if there's another Doncic out there. Where do you think Luka played before he came to the NBA? He played at Real Madrid.
Yeah, but Mike, the champion plays here. Jokic is from another country. He came here to play because he wanted to play against the best.
Yeah, and I'm not even saying that the U.S. wouldn't win, especially in the early goings. But if you
USA! USA!
But if you
USA!
Go Stinks! If you actually have an international competition,
It's called the Olympics, and U.S. wins all the time.
no, they
When we send them
don't win all the time. They're not going to win this time.
Just to be clear, because I understand that all media members need to age. You've been taking a lot of paths, trying to be an insider, being a mover and shaker, legitimate movie executive, and media hobnobber. Just to be clear, in the debate age, you have said, I want to quote you properly, that all of these NBA players who are laughing today saying, how could you possibly say that the United States and the NBA isn't the best league in the world? Your counter is, but come play Shane Larkin in Turkey.
Right. Eventually. And yeah, over time, it may be embarrassing at the start, but
What a great take.
All right, you guys, you want
Shane Larkin in Turkey.
All right, let me ask you a question. If you do this in
There's
baseball,
a reason he went to Turkey.
let me ask you a question. If you do this in baseball, how certain are you?
I'm not.
Baseball's a different sport, though, right?
Different sport.
Yeah, it's
A college team in the spring training can beat a pro team sometimes.
but you have to start somewhere. And if you don't actually have the competition to where Europe can identify whatever this perceived gulf is, it's an actual gulf, but over time that gulf will shrink because it'll make them more competitive.
Well, you're essentially making the argument on behalf of the group of five for college football, right? Like, that's the closest comparison that we have where we've had this debate before, where it's, can these teams that don't have the same level of funding, that shouldn't theoretically have the same level of athletes, that don't have the same level of preparation, can they compete with these big monster programs?
No.
And the argument had been yes from a lot of people. And Mike, you're actually making that argument really well right now.
It's true that Japan just beat the United States in the World Baseball Classic. It's true that you could make an argument that internationally the hockey is just as good as it is in the United States and Canada. You could make an argument for sure, it's a certainty that the MLS champion is not the best team in the world. You could even, but the NBA is the one sport where you cannot make an argument.
Football. What about football?
Well, American football, because there really are incomparable leagues. But yes,
I didn't even consider football because it's pretty much still an
But
American sport.
you yourself are conceding that all the other major leagues here in the United States would actually run into legitimate competition.
Yes, but in the
we
NBA
laugh it off in the NBA.
Well, and we should. And that's why it's weird that Noah Lyles is picking the NBA to stake his claim, because that's the one league where there is no question that the NBA champion is the best team in the world.
But
I'm
Mike
not
is
so
not
sure.
wrong when he says that we have seen our dream teams go play internationally by international rules and lose because they're not as good at that style. Like, it's not
Now
like
imagine if they played Shane Larkin.
that's the thing. That's the thing. If all of a sudden, can you imagine if that Barkley MJ team had to deal with Shane Larkin in Turkey?
Well, who was the number one pick in the NBA this year? Where was he playing?
Where's he playing now?
I understand where he's playing right now, but you want to
Couldn't
dismiss.
play in the NBA yet.
But you want to dismiss. These are teams that play well-drilled basketball to just laugh off and say, well, but they're the superior athletes of America, and it sounds ridiculous that they would travel to Turkey and lose to Shane Larkin. I'm like saying, but they have certain ways that they play that are fortified.
You don't believe that the Denver Nuggets are going to lose to a Turkish league team
Not in
led by Shane Larkin. You don't believe that.
Do you think Shane Larkin wishes he was in the NBA?
Yeah.
Of course. Why?
Well, he's American, and he's had a lot of success over there
No,
in
but
Europe,
that entire Turkish team would probably take
All
game.
of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have
They would bail on Shane Larkin.
Here's the thing. You guys are taking the easy side of the argument, and I'm even conceding to you that early on, probably the U.S. Or the NBA asserts its will. But this is just an NBA-centric thing, too, because if we did it in the WNBA, I imagine the European teams would beat WNBA teams. So what I'm saying is, if you don't actually have the competition to set forth what the gulf is, you're not giving Europe any chance to actually make up that.
USA.
It's just silly to laugh at him.
You sound like a fool.
Look,
He sounds like a fool. God bless America. Somebody get me an American flag.
It's
I
gonna turn
ride
into-
with, the Slim Reaper.
What's unfair is this is going
I
to
want
turn
to have
into
Shane Larkin on.
Yeah, it's already happened. Well, this is going to turn into Mike says Shane Larkin can beat Jokic, and that's not what I'm saying.
said, yeah.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we don't know what would happen. We can assume what would happen.
Shane Larkin
but
knows
over
what would happen.
But over time, those are not bad teams that play in Europe. Like Barcelona is not a bad team. Real Madrid, these aren't bad basketball programs.
Mike, I appreciate your bravery in the face of Noah Lyles being an internet joke that I began this segment by asking Chris Cody.
Why me? I still don't know why.
Did you feel bad for someone just in the face of public scorn being laughed at from every corner of the internet for an invalid sports opinion, and you took up his cause, you wrapped yourself in the flag and Shane Larkin.
A Turkish flag.
A Turkish
For some reason.
Yeah,
Well,
traitor.
it's just an example, and
Better
guys
than
are
Mike
not
over
going to
here.
let me forgive. You're not going to forgive the Shane Larkin thing.
USA. USA.
What I'm saying, you've made Noah Lyles a joke when he is 100% right.
You
Not in
made Shane
basketball.
Larkin Michael Jordan.
Mike's gonna,
No, that was Michael Petrus.
Mike's gonna start a "Let's Go Turkey" chant.
Just
Why did you make it Turkey? And just
why? Because Shane Larkin played. Does he still
Let's go
actively play in
Turkey.
Turkey? He might play in Greece.
Go Turkey.
yeah,
Let's go
doesn't work
Turkey.
the same way.
Hey, Well, you're seeing the seeds of stuff. Like the Antetokounmpo yesterday I saw a story of Antetokounmpo.
Greece would kick everyone's ass if he played for them.
Well, that's the thing. If you actually have this competition, you have these international players say, I don't have to travel now to play in the top flight. If I have an opportunity to call myself a world champion, I'm Luka Doncic. I'm way more comfortable in Spain than I would be in Dallas, Texas.
Well, you have
Let
that
me
in the
say-
Olympics.
But
you have
you-
that in the Olympics.
You have that in the Olympics, and the U.S. doesn't win all the time. You would probably have it if you had an NBA franchise in
Play by the
Greece.
NBA rules.
If you had an NBA franchise in Greece, I
That's the
imagine Antetokounmpo would want to play for
But
them.
that's the thing. Billy, you're absolutely right. You nuke Mike Ryan's 100% argument saying, no, you know what? We play American games in America by America's rules.
Damn right.
Then what do you have, Shane
Imagine
Larkin?
if we brought soccer over here, we started playing with our hands. They wouldn't like
American
that.
rules. That allows everybody in the NBA to dunk on poor Noah Lyles and everyone on the internet because Draymond Green and Bam and everyone else, you fool.
USA.
You fool.
Turkey.
Yeah, it's strange.
Greece.
It's strange that Shane Larkin would have been your go-to there, and you're arguing I'm 100% right.
Well, he is. I mean, Noah Lyles is right. They have Toronto. That's the one team that they have outside of the United States. If they open this abroad, you'd have players less likely to leave to the NBA knowing that they had a chance to compete against the best.
Larkin averaged 10 points per game in Turkey.
He's a naturalized citizen. He's an icon over there. He's an icon.